Hello students, welcome to the Pole Science of class 9, and today we'll start with the second reason for why the Constitution of India was actually accepted. Previously we read about the Constitution coming into effect and the efforts of the leaders who actually make the Constitution of India into effect with their hard work, dedication and the previous experience that they had actually achieved. So now today we will proceed from the second reason, that why it was accepted, why our constitution was accepted. So let's proceed then. The second reason for accepting the constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. What is the actual reason? Like if it was accepted because the constitution was actually accepted because of the reason that the Constituent Assembly represent the people of India. That means what? That means the number of representatives, elected representatives actually, were elected through an election, and whoever the number of people were around 299. So these 299 people were actually from different parts of the country. So that's why it is written like the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. That means one was from, say, from the northeastern part or the northern part, the other was from the southern part, then the third one was from the western part of India. So like that it represented actually the people of India in the form of elected representative. There was no universal adult franchise at that time. That means what? The right to vote was not actually was present at that time, because at that time our leaders were busy in preparing the constitution. After that only it came into being, when the first elections was held in the year 1951. So the Constituent Assembly could not have chosen directly by all the people of India. So why it is written like there was no right to vote at that time? Because if there was, suppose for example you say that if there was the right to vote, then it could be assumed that the people could have chosen directly the leaders, whoever were actually elected to the Constituent Assembly. They could have voted, the people of India could have voted, but it was not there. That means right to vote or the universal adult franchise was not present at that time. Clear? It was elected mainly by the members of the existing provincial legislatures that we mentioned above. That means what? These were actually elected mainly by the members of whom people had not elected, but these 299 members were elected by the provincial legislatures that we mentioned above. Whoever the legislatures were there, they had only elected these members in the Constituent Assembly. This ensured a fair geographical share of members from all the regions of the country. Clear? That means what? As I had told you earlier that all the members elected, that was in number it was 299, they were from different parts of India. So you can say they were from different geographical location, which was actually giving what? Which was actually being justified, because if all the people from every parts of the country represented, then you can say that all will have a share of views and ideas. They will think for their own area or state, and they will include what it is necessary actually in the constitution, taking in mind about its own people. So for that they were ensuring what? They were telling that whatever the constitution is to be made, that will have a fair geographical share of members from that idea, which will actually give what? Different views and ideas will be given, which will actually work for the success of Constitution of India. The assembly was dominated by the Indian National Congress, the party that led India's freedom struggle. But when the constitution was prepared, actually this Constituent Assembly, whoever the 299 members were there, that was actually dominated by whom? One party, and that is the oldest party of India, that you can say in oldest political party of India, which was actually formed in the year 1885, and this party was Indian National Congress. And why this party had a domination in the Constituent Assembly? For the reason that the Indian National Congress also had a role in India's freedom struggle. That means you can say many leaders from the Indian National Congress had actually taken part for its freedom struggle against the British, and who also helped India to gain freedom from the hands of the British. That's why in this Constituent Assembly the INC, that means Indian National Congress, had a domination. But the Congress itself included a variety of political groups and opinions. But as you know that it had the domination, but having domination also, it decided that it will include various parties or various members from different political parties in that Constituent Assembly, because the Congress were thinking at that time that they will not forcefully impose anything that will be included in the Constitution, because all the views of different people are actually needed. So bringing that in mind, they included what? They included different members from different political parties. This was the positive thing that the Indian National Congress had done at that time. The assembly had many members who did not agree with the Congress. But then also, when many different members, or from, you can say that from different parties, different members were there in the Constituent Assembly, and some of the members actually did not agree with the Congress at certain point of time. In social terms too, the assembly represented members from different language groups, caste, classes, religions and occupations. So these are all what? These are all the characteristics or features of the Constituent Assembly. What was the speciality? You can say that like this: as the Constituent Assembly had 299 members, it was believed, or it was there, that whatever the members were there in the Constituent Assembly, these people or these members were from different language groups. That means the members had different language. These members had different caste, were from different caste, classes. They were from different religions and occupations also. This was one of the features or characteristics of the members of Constituent Assembly. Not only the members, you should write elected members. Even if the Constituent Assembly was elected by universal adult franchise, its composition would not have been very different. So it is said that, as a whole, it is said that we know that there was not a right to vote at that time. So according to the right to vote, people would have actually been given the right to vote. So in that time, as right to vote was not there, but it is believed that if the right to vote was also prevalent at that time, so whatever the members were elected actually by the legislature, that legislature electing the people and the people having right to vote, if they would have elected the leader, this ratio would have been the same. Why is it said like so? It is said like that because the legislatures also kept in mind about the views and ideas of the people, and keeping that in mind, they had actually elected the representatives that were in the Constituent Assembly from different parts of the country. So for that reason, it is said that its composition would not have been different if it was the Constituent Assembly was elected by universal adult franchise also. That means what? The leaders which were elected by the provincial legislatures, whatever the results or whatever the kind of people were actually elected, that would have been the same if they were being elected by this process also. That was to be the same, because this different whatever the members were there, they were representing different languages, they were from different castes, different classes, different religions and different occupations. For that reason, it is told that it could have been the same. Finally, the manner in which the Constituent Assembly worked gives sanctity to the Constitution. The Constituent Assembly worked in a systematic, open and consensual manner. But it is said that while making the Constitution, the way the Constituent Assembly worked actually, that gave what? Sanctity to the Constitution. That means you can say that it was to the purest form. when the constitution was actually brought into effect. No partiality was done, and while writing the constitution, while preparing the constitution, it was actually thought in mind that whatever it will be included, it will benefit the whole country, not to a particular section of the people. So it was giving what? It was giving sanctity to the constitution. Clear? That means it was in its purest or sacred form. The Constituent Assembly worked in a systematic, open and consensual manner. So why it was believed to be in the purest or sacred form? Because the Constituent Assembly was working in three types of manners actually. It was working systematically, it was working openly, that means everything they were including or that was to be included was in an open manner, that means transparent. Everyone was actually knowing what was being included or what was omitted in that constitution. And consensual manner. Consensual manner means in a agreement, that means majority of people are agreeing to some point, that means it could be included. So it was working in systematic manner also, open or transparent manner also, and consensual manner also. Consensual in the sense that if 299 members are there, if 200 members are giving thumbs up to a particular amendment, that means they 200 people are actually agreeing on that. So based on that agreement, some amendments were actually included in the constitution. First, some basic principles were decided and agreed upon. Then a drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. That means what? Some basic principles were actually decided by that Constituent Assembly members. Then what happened? Based on these principles, one drafting committee was chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That means Bhimrao Ambedkar, who is also known as the father of Indian Constitution. So actually a drafting committee was formed and it was chaired, means this drafting committee's chairman was Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, who prepared a what? Draft constitution for discussion. As you can say that they had prepared one rough work over the constitution. Clear? After the approval only they will finalize that constitution. So before that some rough work was done and some draft was actually held, so that if they prepare a rough constitution which was not final, which was not made final yet, so they can see what to be included or what to be not, they can have a discussion over that. For that reason only a drafting committee was formed actually, and its chairperson was Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, and they had prepared this draft constitution or the rough constitution for what? For discussions, that every points that are included are justified or not. If not, they will omit that thing. So they held this for discussions. Several rounds of thorough discussion took place on the draft constitution, clause by clause. They were going point by point over each and every thing which was actually the draft constitution. Why? Because they were making it sure that whatever the points are there, they should justify or they should benefit the overall population of India. More than 2000 amendments were considered, and after final discussions, how many amendments were actually considered? That means finalized. In this draft constitution, it was finalized that around 2000 amendments, whatever the amendments were put forward or were included while making the constitution, around 2000 in number, approx you can say 2000 amendments were considered. That means while if the final constitution is made, all these 2000 amendments will be included. This was finalized after the discussion. The members deliberated for 114 days spread over 3 years. So these members, whatever the 299 members were there, headed by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, had spent how many days? 114 days. That means you can say that 3.5 months in between these 3 years. That means in a 3 years time they actually had spent 114 days. Clear? While making this, or you can say while finalizing this constitution, they had included 2000 amendments, discussions, more discussions were going on. So they spent, these 299 members spent almost 114 days in how many years? In 3 years time they met, or they spent doing that during these 3 years. Every document presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly has been recorded and preserved. And one more important features, or you can say one unique thing that was done was what? When the Constituent Assembly actually, after elections in July 1946 until its final adoption on 26 November 1949, in between these 3 years, whatever the Constituent Assembly's members were talking, were including, or every word spoken on behalf of making the Constitution, that are actually recorded and preserved till time. That means every word spoken are recorded and it is being preserved till time. It is there. You can listen to that. So everything there is recorded and it is also preserved, and it will be preserved until more time also. These are called Constituent Assembly debates. So whatever the recordings or the preservation work was done regarding the working of Constituent Assembly, these are actually known as what? These are actually known as Constituent Assembly debates. That means whatever the discussions were going on during finalizing the Constitution, so these were actually recorded and preserved, and this actually came to be known as what? Constituent Assembly debates. When printed, these debates are 12 bulky volumes. Clear? So these recorded and preserved, but when it was actually printed version is also there. This is the recorded version, and the printed version, when it was printed, actually these are what? 12 bulky volumes. That means you can say that there are 12 volumes of that. Bulky means it's huge in number. Pages are very huge. Clear? One volume consists of, say, suppose 500, in between 500 to 1000 pages. So you just imagine 12 bulky volumes will be equal to how many pages? Around 10 to 12,000 pages will be there. So it was recorded also, it was preserved also, and it was printed also. Clear? And whatever these were done, these were known as Constituent Assembly debates. These debates provide the rationale behind every provisions of the constitutions, and why it is recorded, preserved and printed actually. For the reason that whatever the points, amendments are included in the Constitution of India, and we are abiding by that till date also, even after 70 years. For that reason only, whatever the points are there, they have a reason actually behind every amendments. So to justify that only, these things were actually recorded also, they were printed also, and they were preserved also. These are used to interpret the meaning of the Constitution, and along with the justification, it is also there to interpret what happened during that time, or you can say interpret the meaning of the Constitution. That means what is actually a Constitution. This printed edition and this recorded things will actually justify this thing, that what is the actual meaning of Constitution. So with this I will wind up today's topic, and I hope that whatever the points I have made you understand regarding the second reason for accepting Constitution is very much clear now. With this I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.